Hello everybody. So today I want to tell you about what would be the best distro for you as an artist using Linux, if you want to use Linux. So from my personal experience, you have quite a few options. So I don't want to give you a lot of options. I'm going to restrict the option to few only. So in option number one, it would be Arch Linux. It's hard to install, it's hard to set up, it's really easy to use once you install and set up. Setting up this bad boy is a lot of hassle. You have to set everything up. Like, you have to configure the audio, you have to configure the file destination, you have to configure, you maybe have to edit your setting for the GPU as I did. So you have to do a lot of adjustment to your system. The setup, the installation process is not that hard itself, but setting up, like, you have to install your own. You have to choose which window manager to install on it, and which, like, what do you call it? The thing that load the window manager. Yeah. So, but like Arch Linux is great. Why it's great? Because first you have the Arch wiki, and second, if you wanna install anything, it's gonna be like this. Hey, I wanna install. So you have two options. You have the Pacman /s, and you have the Arch user repository, or AUR. So a lot of like most of the program are gonna be found here in the Pacman repository. If not, you can find them in the AUR. So for example, Substance Painter, for me as an artist, it's a big deal to have it. Yeah, so Arch is a really great option. Once you set it up, it's gonna be really smooth workflow. If you don't want to set it up, this is not totally Arch, but you can use Pacman with it. I personally prefer not to use it. I tried it though. Yeah, so this is an option for you. You have it a hassle-free operating system. Installing it is very straightforward. This is the Arch installation is fun for me, but it's not straightforward. So now the second option, it's really only two options: Arch Linux or Ubuntu, which is PopOS in this example. So you have Ubuntu, you have the standard Ubuntu. You wanna get like LDS version or the cutting edge release. This is for Ubuntu. For me, I'd rather pick PopOS. So why PopOS? Because it's way more polished. You have a version for AMD and version for Nvidia, or a version for Nvidia, or a version for anything else. So for Nvidia, it's recommended to use the LTS version. I'm using the LTS version. I have Nvidia in this machine. One of the advantage of PopOS. So I'm on a custom window manager, but I'm on PopOS. So you have everything set up and ready to use. You have all the driver ready. Like, you have the Nvidia thing. Nvidia command line. So, what was the command? Let me try it here. Nvidia. Yes, whatever. Setting. It's okay, whatever. So you have Nvidia set up and ready to use, although it's kinda outdated because it's been a year. um, you have a really decent really decent theme. For me, it's a really decent theme, and a good starting desktop environment, which is GNOME. But like it's really refined, and you don't have any extra garbage from here, polluted garbage. Like you don't have any games installed from your Ubuntu desktop. Uh, this is extremely easy to install. Installing this operating system is extremely easy, and it has all the things you need. Like again, this is not GNOME. This is awesome window manager. It has anything you want. So yeah, also this notification. So you have a good package right off the bat. So yeah. Also, in addition, I use Wine. So I use a lot of mostly use Linux application, but like this Blender. But also I use Wine. HQ to set up like ZBrush and few other software. I also have Windows on this machine if I needed it. I mostly don't use it. So it's really powerful to use Linux terminal. It's really powerful to use Linux. You can access a lot of things from the terminal, which is why I love to use Linux in the first place. You can do crazy shit. You can like, hey, I wanna have this picture, only this picture. Where is downloads? So I wanna have this picture. Let me open a different application. So I wanna have this picture, only this picture, on top, while using Blender. You can. You absolutely can. You can have it on top. Yeah. So, like, even nowadays, Photoshop is being show is much better on Linux. Come on. Come on. Gaming on Linux is much better. Photoshop is much better. You know, the amount of freedom you get by using Linux is just insane. You can edit anything you want. You can create your own thing. You can change the Windows environment you're liking. Like, I have a tiling window manager, for example. Let me start file and open new window. So yeah, I can in one click arrange it in different way. I can send it back to normal too. It's still on the default theming, but I don't have time to change it. Maybe I'll make video on my custom, not so custom, but like on my custom build. Yeah, because I don't have a lot of things that normal user when the computer user would use. So that was my brief brief introduction to Linux for artists. By the way, also, so for artists, here you get an advantage. You get two advantages. One being it's so the RAM usage. So now I have many things open. If I can reduce the RAM usage to 300 megabyte, 400 megabyte. Windows at least gonna consume a gig and a half. And you have a swap. A swap is gonna act something similar to the RAM. Yeah. You get a lot of great tool here to be used in conjunction with art. For example, Ranger. So this is really good for Houdini. You get a directory like this. Yeah, by the way, for the program wise, you get Maya native to Linux. 3ds Max work perfectly with Wine. ZBrush works perfectly with Wine. Substance works perfectly. Substance is native to Linux. Algorithmic Substance. You get Unreal Engine is native to Linux, but you need to compile it from source. I did it for 10 times. Unity, I believe, is native to Linux. What else? Photoshop can nowadays work. So yeah, this is for Photoshop. Krita, I use Krita instead of Photoshop most of the time. So I don't have it installed, I have it as an app image. So Adobe application usually makes like it's a lot of trouble to install it here. However, nowadays it seems much better. I can find much better solution for it. So I draw using this software, and it's really nice to use with Linux. The theming is not so good right now. Yeah. Come on. So Houdini is native to Linux. A lot of software like this. Houdini works perfectly with Linux. What else? 3D software Linux. That is Linux. Yeah. So anyway, you got the point. So the latest version of Photoshop is working good with Linux. So I've tried not the latest version and it worked fine here with Wine. I mean. But I used Krita as a professional package and it's totally fine. Except it's lacking behind in a few things as a professional concept artist. So yeah, it's open. So basically, it's silver, which is really good. Like it's just one step behind gold. Let me open it. So setting up something like Photoshop is painful, but it works. Like you cannot install it directly here using Wine. You have to install it somewhere else and take the installation here. Come on. Anyway, I'm gonna end the video right here. Right now. Yeah, good. I hope you found this video useful and good luck using Linux.